Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Gemma, and this week we have a full house. We have a big crew. I've got three friends joining me this week. And first up, we have Kirk. Welcome back, Kirk.
I am so happy to be here today.
Me too. It's going to be a big episode. And welcome back to Rev. I think this is 3 weeks in a row for you.
Yeah, I'm comparably happy. Same with Kirk.
Nice. And joining us for the first time in a little while, welcome back to Justin. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Good to be back.
Yeah, excellent to have you on this show. We're going to talk all about the Nintendo Direct that just dropped. For us, it just dropped. Only, hours ago, really. It was a Friday Direct. I think I'd say to Nintendo, please don't do Friday Directs anymore. It doesn't work for me that well. But wow, 60 minutes of discussion on Switch 1 and 2 games, plus a lot of Mario stuff, because it is the Mario 40th anniversary coming up. Miyamoto-san was on at the very beginning to talk about that, and he said September 13th is Mario's 40th anniversary of, I guess, the original game launching in Japan. I think we're all pretty big Mario fans among us, especially me and Trev and Justin, I would say. Correct, guys?
I'm a Mario fan.
Okay, and Kirk. Sorry.
Sure I am.
Sure. And things kicked off with the Mario Galaxy movie. Wow. What did you guys think about this? Who wants to talk about this first? I think Justin highlighted this originally. Did you?
Oh, the movie? I was going to talk
Or was it
about,
Trev?
I
Sorry.
think, Mario
It must have been Trev.
movie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll defer if you have anything to say. But
Oh yeah.
No,
I mean,
good. Yeah.
I was happy to see the trailer, because we know the movie's coming out next year in April. Not that far away, 6 months.
it's
And
really not in the grand scheme.
yeah, exactly. And so we got our first look at the movie. It was pretty much a teaser. Didn't really see a whole lot, just Mario and then a butterfly flying over the fields and the water. Looks amazing though, right? Like, it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, it definitely did. I wasn't even sure at first because when it opened with like the 40th anniversary stuff, I actually thought, even though it's a big anniversary, I thought it was a little slow to open. Like they were showing a lot of stuff in like
Mm.
Kyoto, which really it's not going to impact me much being here in the States. So
Yeah, yeah.
like cool if you're there, but Um, yeah, the movie, I'm certainly excited about it. I am. Did you guys know that it was titled Galaxy? Like I know that it kind of leaked out, but I didn't actually know it till this.
No,
So for me, I was surprised.
I did not know this. I didn't think anyone did. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was a Old Spice leak yesterday that I think that's when it got revealed. But yeah, I don't think most people saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Old
Yeah, it
Spice,
was,
the deodorant is leaking.
yes.
What?
So there were these bottles of like shampoo or body wash or something that are Old Spice brand, and they have like the Mario Galaxy like logo on it, and I think they have some. So anyway, some sort of cross promotional thing that some pictures of it leaked yesterday. But
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
It is
Yeah, I didn't really pay it much mind. I saw something quick in passing, but I'm like, nah.
yeah,
Um,
I think the
I
the
don't.
previous leaked title was Super Mario World. I think was what someone had previously leaked like 6 months ago. But anyways,
I thought that made more sense, to be honest. I was a little
mhm.
surprised
Yeah,
that they went with Galaxy, but
yeah,
maybe it makes
same.
sense with what else we know is coming. So,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yes. So big news. Yeah, Mario Galaxy movie is coming out in April. Obviously, I guess we can expect to see the likes of Rosalina in this one. They did mention some cast members. Jack Black is back, which had me excited because obviously we're going to have Mario and Luigi and Toad, I suppose. But I wasn't 100% sure Bowser would be back just because of the end of the last movie. And I assume there'll be a new villain in this one, but maybe he escapes and he's the villain. Who knows? But
or maybe
yeah.
he's working with the new villain.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
two of them.
Yes, that's right. Or, it could be the old, what happens when, there's another villain and Bowser has to work with Mario, they're reluctant partners kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Who knows?
that'd be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun. And that leads to, I guess, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, the original games coming out as a package for the Nintendo Switch on the 2nd of October. So yeah, I mean, I think we all love this game, right? This is a classic 3D Mario outing. Justin, how do you feel about this package coming out? Not too far away, too. Only like less than a month, 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, I am excited. I was looking at some of the prices and things, but someone was joking that they are really going for the 40th anniversary by charging $40 for each of these. So I was like, um, but I think the physical edition I think is 70, so you get a little bit of a discount if you buy them together. I don't think there's a digital bundle though, from what I was gathering.
Ah,
Anyways, I think regardless, I'm excited enough to see Galaxy 2. It might be that I buy Galaxy 2 by itself though, since I do still have 3D All Stars from the Switch One.
me too,
And
actually.
they
Good
did,
point. Mm.
yeah, they did confirm that Galaxy 2 is going to have. I think it was in the press release or maybe on the Nintendo site. They did say it is going to have its 4K output resolution for Galaxy 2. I
Oh,
don't know if
wow.
that's going to be the same for Galaxy 1, but anyway, so yeah, that should be quite the glow up. It should look, better than it's ever looked, at least officially. So yeah, I'm excited about that. The amiibo look really good too. I haven't typically gotten any amiibo, although I did recently get the Donkey Kong Bonanza with
Oh,
Pauline
cool.
amiibo.
Yeah.
So that's currently the only amiibo I have, and so I might get back into some of these, especially with Metroid Prime 4 amiibo, which we'll talk about. But
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I'm excited about the amiibo for one because I
Mhm.
love collecting the amiibo, so I'll be getting the Mario Galaxy ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, good point about the packaging. Thank you for letting us know that. I didn't know
Mhm.
that about the separation. I didn't know you could get them separately. I knew they were a
Mhm.
bundle. I had just assumed I'd get the bundle, but I do technically have one from, yeah, 3D All
Mhm.
Stars. So,
Yeah, I
interesting.
think Justin's right. They're available separately, digitally, and together
Mhm.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to get the physical, I think, for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, if
It
possible.
will change some things if Galaxy One is in 4K as well. Like it has like truly some good Switch 2 upgrades. When
Mm.
you're running it on that, then that could be compelling. But if it's basically what we had with the HD version that launched on 3D All Stars for the Switch One, I might skip that one. But
Yeah, fair enough. That's cool. Yeah, very exciting. Anyone else got
Mhm.
anything to add about Mario Galaxy 1 and 2?
I
No?
do think it's a little odd
Yeah?
that the the physical release is actually cheaper than like if you were to get them digitally, because normally I think we would see that the other way around, right? I don't know if that's. I mean, I'm not questioning it because that's cool, right? I prefer
Yeah.
physical. I
Mm.
just thought that was interesting because I just assumed that it would be digitally, like bundled the same price, but it is $10 more.
Oh, yeah, that
My
is
only
interesting.
thought is that, like you guys said, there's over 9 million people that can play it already on their Switch 2 through the All Star Collection. So, is there redundancy? Maybe they do just want to get Galaxy 2. Because that's probably what I would do. Maybe not for $40, but um, yeah, just I was chewing it over in my mind to be like, huh, Nintendo.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Were we surprised or disappointed that there was no new Mario kind of game? Well, there is a new Mario game, which we'll get to in a sec, but not a Mario 3D platforming type of adventure. Like, I guess Mario Galaxy ties in with the movie, of course, because it's the same, setting. But would we have liked a Mario Galaxy 3, for example? Or are we happy to get the classics?
I will say real quickly because apparently I'm the one who doesn't like Mario.
Sorry.
Oh,
That's fine. That's fine because I'm not as into the Mario games as everyone else. I played Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and I like them both. I have no interest whatsoever in buying either one of these and playing them again, but I
Mm,
would definitely have picked up a Mario Galaxy 3 had that been released. So
yeah, right.
I will not move on these. I will bide my time until a 3 comes down the pike.
Yeah, because there's no changes to this, right? Apart from the 4K. There's no new
well,
there's no
that's the thing.
extra
Yeah, it's
content,
like
yeah.
it's not really a. I mean, is it a remaster? Is it just a like? I'm not sure how they classify it.
Mm,
Nintendo usually has very specific wording when they reissue games. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have liked to seen more. I don't know if I even would have been excited necessarily for a Galaxy 3. I think I'd either prefer something new, or if they were going to go the sequel route, do something that's less represented,
Mhm.
like maybe a Sunshine 2, or
Mhm.
an Odyssey 2, something that we don't already have multiple offerings of. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Mhm.
I kind of
I'll
assumed.
take
I
what I
think,
can
yeah.
get.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And a lot of people have a nostalgic attachment to Mario Galaxy, I think. It was super popular, wasn't it? It sold really well, both the games. Hence why they did a sequel so quickly. Like, they don't usually do a 3D platforming sequel so fast. Mario Galaxy 2 came out relatively quickly, I think, compared to number 1, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was the same
Yeah.
generation, which is
Mhm.
atypical. So,
Yeah.
like what, 2, 3 years maybe, which sounds long, but it's really not
No,
compared to a
not
lot.
not for 3D Mario games, exactly. Yeah, but in terms of new content, we are getting a new Mario Tennis game. So Mario Tennis Fever, which comes out February the 12th, 2026. I don't know a whole lot about Mario Tennis, to be honest. I have only maybe dabbled in these games over the years. There's quite a few of them though, right? Like there was one on the Switch, I believe. I can't remember what that was called now.
Aces.
Aces, that's
Yeah.
right.
Aces. Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. What's our thoughts on this one? It looks like there's a lot to it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm a tennis fan in real life,
Mhm.
and I've liked the Mario Tennis games, and it felt like Aces did release, like they kind of had a drip feed of content afterwards, like kind of characters. It's kind of the same thing with Mario Strikers Battle League on the Switch One. Like I felt like some of the Mario sports games kind of launched with a whimper a little bit. You know, they're
Mm,
like,
mhm.
oh, they kind of had some subsequent content over the next 6 months, and it's like I remember like not coming back to them, after those content drops, and they probably felt more complete after that. But I remember being a little bit disappointed. I think even the story mode in Aces, I was looking forward to, because I think a lot of us that played like the Camelot Mario sports games, like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color, those were basically like full RPG games. Like they were really interesting. So to see them come back to that and offer a story mode, but it wasn't quite as deep as even the Game Boy Color games. That was a bit of a bummer. So I'm hoping this new adventure mode, it's got a bit more depth. I love the slide and leap now, because it had felt like the tennis formula, the gameplay formula hadn't really evolved much, even with Aces. Just felt like a better looking Mario Tennis
Mm,
game. So this does look like a bit better foot forward now. And I think, if I recall, Trev, did Aces have motion controls? Like the fact that Fever has it, that was something I think that was disappointing. I don't think it had like a Wii Sports style motion control mode in Aces, did it?
I don't actually. No, I never picked up Aces.
Okay.
And a part of it, I think, is what you were saying, is that it did kind of have a bare bones launch,
Yeah.
which I think actually stemmed even going back to the Wii U when they had Ultra Smash. That came out, and I had some fun with that, but that was really bare bones in terms of content. So I think it sort of turned people off, maybe Aces
Yeah.
initially. But
mm,
you're right, a lot of the sport games, same thing with Mario Golf. It came out and it
Yeah.
was sort of light on
Yes.
content, and then they added
Yep.
a bunch, and it got a lot
Mhm.
better. So, um, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure this will be better. I do watching it. I am worried that like the gimmicky rackets. I hope there's not too much focus
Mhm.
on that at the
mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
expense of actual modes.
Yeah. The Fever
Um,
rackets.
and I'm
Yeah.
not necessarily into like the whole baby approach with the adventure mode,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
the little Muppet Baby Mario
Muppet
characters. But
babies.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a
Absolutely.
good game, and maybe they'll release a demo, and people can
Yeah.
get hooked on it.
Mm,
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it looks like Mario Aces does have that same swing mode, but it might not have been there at launch, Justin. So maybe it was added.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking it up. It looks like it was even like its own mode. Like you couldn't do the swing mode in like free play or story mode or stuff like that. So it
Mm,
That's
felt
weird.
like sort of its own, like, cool, you can play around with this as a mini game, or So it's like just let me have that as a control option anywhere I want to play. If I want to do motion control or do the,
Yeah, that would
So
make sense.
hopefully this one's a bit more like it felt like Mario Tennis Aces was really close to being really good. Improve the story mode some. Have some better control options to have motion and all these different things, and have some more gameplay features to the core tennis movement. Um, so um, Also, I did look up real quick. Mario Galaxy 1 is in 4K
Oh wow, okay.
on the Switch too. It has they mentioned improved UI, extra storybook chapters. There's a new assist mode. So it's got a couple light content updates. It's not like a whole new galaxy or levels or anything like that.
Hmm.
But that's good to see, at least, that it's got a little bit more there.
Yeah.
And also another thing I saw is they are selling the bundle digitally.
Okay.
So you can get. I'm seeing both the Galaxy 1 and 2 listed for $40 individually, but they do have a bundle digitally that you can get for $70. So
Oh,
so that's
Oh,
good.
same
That's good
price
to see.
then as
Yep.
the physical. Okay.
As a
I
physical.
retract
Yep.
my earlier statements then.
I know. I thought that was the case too. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Well,
That's
It
good.
is funny though that you mentioned the book because
Mhm.
I think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but they mentioned about like new pages, and then they said there's going to be a physical book as well, but
mm,
Yeah.
it's not going to have the new pages.
yeah, yeah, I saw that too.
It's like what the heck?
It was such an interesting. I
Yeah.
was like, you're adding a lot of fine print to add to these press releases, or like there's some poor PR person somewhere like, oh no, I've got to put another little
Yeah.
annotation here.
It
Yeah.
was kind of a muddled start. Like even with the movie,
Mhm.
they're like, this is going to be the main event of the anniversary. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
oh, okay. I'm not even anticipating any games, and then they come out with a
Yeah.
bunch of games.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting the way they started it off, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah,
Mhm.
hopefully Mario Tennis Fever does, I guess, make up for what you lacked in Aces or what players thought
Mhm.
might have been missing from Aces. Seems like it's got everything, checking all the boxes there for you, Justin, hopefully.
Mhm. I was hoping for a Mario baseball game, but this is
Aw,
fine. This is fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
When was the last time we had a Mario baseball game?
The Wii.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that was a
Well,
long
that
time
needs to
ago.
come
Yeah.
back. That needs to be
Yeah. Yeah.
reinvigorated.
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely becoming the neglected Mario sport. So
How
Yeah.
about
Well,
Mario Basketball? Remember the DS had that 3-on-3
yeah.
hoops game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think
Where's
Yeah. I
that?
can get for that.
Kirk would probably want a Mario NFL game, right?
Mario football or
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey. Yeah. A
They did have
compilation.
Mario Hockey in that Sports Mix collection on the
They
Wii.
did.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
Oh,
did.
Sports
That's
yeah.
Mix
true.
had it.
They
Yep.
did.
See, they
Mhm.
should do another sports mix. That'd be fun. Anyway.
Yeah.
They can get more
Sports
money
Mix.
doing them
Sports
individually,
Mix was
though.
great.
True.
That's
I
right.
feel like Sports Mix is underrated.
I would
Yeah.
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's move on to the next piece of Mario news. And I think we kind of all expected this one. I don't know. I saw rumors about this, or at least something to do
Mhm.
with Mario Wonder. So Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition kind of seemed like a no-brainer. And so it seems like they've added a fair bit, and they didn't really go into. They went into to part of it, which is this meetup in Bellabelle Park. They went quite
Mhm.
into that, which seems like a very Mario Party esque. I don't know, like mini games, but co-op kind of fun, competitive things. Plus new content, and they really didn't get into new content, which is what I would like to see. What's the new content? Is there new levels, new boss fights, new like more to do in Mario Wonder? Because I haven't really gone back to Wonder much since I finished it, which is odd for me because I usually do revisit like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, as you all know, is like one of my
Mm.
top played games. It's like
Mhm.
we just revisit that all the time. So yeah, Switch 2 edition plus Meet Up in Bell Park comes out spring 2026. What do we think about this, Justin? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I loved Mario Wonder, so I'm more Mario Wonder content's fantastic. It does seem like that they did a Kirby game that had like that all those mini games that were attached to it, right?
Mm.
Oh yeah.
On the Switch One a couple years back. Trying to remember. the name of that, but
Oh yeah. It was
Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
yes. Yeah, I think it was that
yeah,
one.
was
Yeah.
it Magalor's Park, or it was something like that.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, this seems very similar, right? I would have hoped to see like more platforming levels, like
Yeah.
add a new, not kingdom necessarily, but add a new whole area or something.
Hmm.
Now they do say, like in the press release, it says there is more to be revealed with it.
Yes.
So maybe there are some other content updates. It did even show. I saw the Koopalings.
Yes, it
Um,
did show that. Hmm.
so maybe they're going to do something interesting, almost like with the recent Kirby Star-Crossed DLC for the Switch 2
Mm.
edition of Forgotten
Hmm.
Land, where like there's stuff that augments the current levels, um, so maybe something changes some of the levels in Wonder, that now the Koopalings are invading the map or something, and you got to chase them around, and it changes up some of the levels. I don't know. um, so I could see something like that. But anyways, all that to say, Switch 2 edition, I'm sure it'll look great visually. I think Mario Wonder was even one of the games that they showed as an example of like 120 frames per second and the 4K resolution when they talked about it in the Switch 2 Direct. So
Mm.
it's good to
Hmm.
see this kind of coming to fruition here. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
there's a little bit more than just that Bell to Bell Park, but yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think we all enjoyed Mario Wonder, of course, at the time. It is a lovely game.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like you, I'm very excited for more content, like platforming content. So hopefully that is revealed soon. But it's not till spring 2026, so plenty of time for them to reveal that information. So that's a
Mhm.
ways off, actually, isn't it? When's that? At like first
Mhm.
quarter next year, kind of thing. Mid. Yeah. Anyway.
Spring. It could even be second quarter.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
True. True. So.
The thing is, and
It,
not to break the positive chatter here, but I'm
Mhm.
I'm not really a fan of these Switch 2 editions, and I'll
Mm,
tell you why. It's one thing to bring games back that have been out of circulation for like a decade, like they did with like a
Mhm.
Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, whatever. Super Mario Wonder is still on the shelf. It's not a very old game,
mm, mhm.
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
purely from a perspective of a writer, I dread having to write, like, if we review Super Mario Wonder, Nintendo Switch 2
Mhm.
edition, plus meet
Oh,
up in Bell Bell Park,
yeah.
and then have Nintendo Switch 2 again in parenthesis. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope this is just an early thing with the Switch 2, and that it'll quickly
Mhm.
give way to proper new releases, because I don't think they can pull this off consistently. I think eventually
Yeah.
fans are going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, it would have been
Yeah.
too
Even a
much.
great game like Wonder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I would like a new platforming Mario, but I would say that any day of the week, honestly. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's too soon, I guess, for a new game to expect a new game. It's only 2 years old, isn't it? Wasn't it 2023 that it came
Yeah.
out? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's not very old,
Yeah,
like
it's not very old.
obviously. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, but there is a new game, not Mario, but kind of adjacent, which is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which, I mean, certainly looks beautiful. And it's about Yoshi finding a book. Was he called the Elder or something? Or the no encyclopedia something? I can't remember. Sorry. This talking encyclopedia with a
Mr.
big
E. I think we shortened it to
mystery.
Mr. E.
Yeah, and he had a big bushy mustache, and he opens up the book, and yeah, I like this little detail that he can't read his own book, which makes sense because he's a face on the front of a book. So Yoshi has to help, fill in the pages, and I don't quite get what that entails. Like, they showed a little bit, like finding different creatures. I wouldn't even say they're enemies; like they're just creatures, and using them in the environment to do certain things, and that fills out the book. But wow, what an interesting concept. Trev, did you have thoughts on this one?
This for me was the game of the direct,
Hmm.
because it is a brand new game, and I'm a big Yoshi fan. I
Yeah.
know some people were hoping for like Woolly World to come back, which is also an amazing game, but I already got that on Wii U and 3DS, so I'm all about the new. I think this game looks gorgeous. The Yoshi games always have like a kind of unique aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
and
Hmm.
I really like what I saw. I think the Yoshi games also have a nice like balance in how you can play. You can kind of chill and play it casually, for lack of a better word, but there's also a real challenge if you're trying to be a completionist and get all the collectibles. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Um, yeah, spring 2026 is going to be busy for Nintendo because there's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
big games, and I'm hoping they spread them out, like March, April, May. So,
Mm, hmm.
God
I'll have
forbid you want
to.
all of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna be broke.
I know. Well, there were over 30 games talked about in this direct. So, yeah, it's a really good point. And spring did come up a lot, spring 2026. And I think
Yeah,
you're 100% right with this one. It's I like that it, like, like you said, having do you say Yoshi's Woolly World, having another one of those kind of entries would be nice, but I like that this is completely different. I love that, in fact, because a lot of the times we're getting revamps, we're getting Switch 2 editions, we're getting, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, all great things, all great games, but to have new content and not just like another platformer, but something very different is really cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one too.
and I did like how they tied it. Even though Yoshi's like his own thing, he's still part of the Mario universe, and they did tie it
Yeah.
in with the Mario celebration. So I
Yeah.
appreciated that.
Yeah, there's no Yoshi without Mario. Anyone else got anything to add to Yoshi and the Mysterious Book before we say goodbye to the Mario 40th anniversary stuff? Okay, cool. Well,
I
yeah,
will say one thing
yes,
real quickly, in
go
that
for
I
it.
hope they have a demo for this right away instead of making
Oh,
us wait for it
yeah,
like they did with Donkey
Donkey
Kong.
Kong.
And
Oh,
I know. I know. We'll get to Donkey Kong. I do want to ask if you're going to get the demo though, Kirk, because I noticed that straight away. But let's move on to first. They went through some Switch games, then they went through some Switch 2 games. Although I think it was a bit of a mixed bag for the second lot because some of them were Switch 1 and 2, some were just Switch 2, and then they talked about, Switch Online, so it was kind of mixed. But the first lot was Nintendo Switch, just a handful of games there. And we won't go through all of them because, like I said, there are over 30 in this entire list. Too many to talk about. But one that stood out that we've heard about before, and I think we've been waiting some time for, I think they've narrowed down the release window for this one, is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. So was it originally just 2026 and now we have spring 2026? Is that right?
yeah,
Yeah,
another spring
another
one.
spring.
Um, but you know what? I mean, this one is for just Switch One, and not everyone has a Switch Two. So if you're
Mm,
still
mhm.
rocking the original Switch, this is a big game. This is a big game for you. And I do like how in the direct they kind of spliced them, you know, in between because like when the Switch came out, the 3DS tended to get like we'll get their releases out of the way in the opening minutes, and then we can focus
Mm.
all on Switch. But I feel like they were kind of spliced in better. So I'm excited for this one because I missed this one on 3DS, so it'll be new to me. And I love that they're bringing back me characters. I hope this is sort of a catalyst to really bring me back in other formats, whether it's other games or additional features on Switch 2 or whatever. The more me, the merrier.
Yes.
and giving them voices now.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Was
good
that
point. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
They have
sure it's going to be expanded on Switch. It would have to be. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be. They don't just give it the moniker "Live in the Dream" if there's not a bunch of quality additions. So I'm sure it's going to take advantage.
right. So this is not a new title. I thought it was new, but it's not. It's a 3DS game. Is that right?
It's new-ish, right? Is it like a 1.5 deal?
Right.
Thought maybe.
Yeah, okay. Like they've taken an existing game and obviously they've changed, like it doesn't look like a 3DS game. So
See,
it's
now
been
I don't
made.
remember when they first showed it. I feel like I knew, and now I'm forgetting. Do you remember, Justin?
Um, I think it is being pitched as as a full new game, but yeah, it's just in that series. But
Mm.
there might be like kind of like Animal Crossing in the sense that a lot of the gameplay is going to be similar. Maybe there's new scenarios and new
Gotcha.
interactions that can happen, but
Yeah. It's
um,
called a direct
yeah.
sequel and the third in the series. So yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
think
So
it's
yeah, they are
basically
pitching it
new.
as a
Hmm.
yep. So yeah, I would say it's kind of like there's a lot of core things in Animal Crossing that are the same in each iteration, but
Yeah, yeah,
they'll do new visuals or some new main piece. But
that's true. Yeah, that's a
mhm.
very good point. Cool. Well,
I'm
yeah,
curious how many people pick it up who
yeah,
have moved on to Switch 2.
yeah,
I hope they don't
Mhm.
overlook it just because it's not in a red case.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
point. Very interesting. Thank you, Trev. Let's move on to, I guess, the Switch 2 side of things, which was a much fuller list. But again, a lot of these are also on Switch 1. So we'd heard of a lot of these already. I think we knew about Mortal Kombat, for example, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, that was talked about a lot recently online. Hades 2, I think we all knew that one was coming too. That one looks really cool.
Mhm.
A lot of amiibo was revealed during this direct, like lots more than I expected. We had the
Mhm.
Mario, the Mario Galaxy amiibo. They talked about some amiibo for upcoming Kirby Air Riders, and they showed us two, which was the Kirby and Bandana Waddle Dee. The cool thing was you can swap them around, which I love. So that's unique to amiibo.
Mhm.
You can't really interact with them that
It's
way.
ripping off Skylanders. You used
Yeah,
to be able to do that.
it is. It is. But is Skylander still
Mhm.
making toys alive?
They are not.
No.
No, they are not.
Mhm.
Whereas it seems like there's a resurgence in amiibo now, and then there's more amiibo coming in the future in terms of Kirby Air Riders. So I don't know how many they're planning to do. Can I keep up with it? I don't know, but I'll get these two at least. And they're coming out the same day as the game, which is November the 20th. Um, Justin, since you're on the show and you weren't here for Kirby Air Riders, just quickly, is that a game you're interested in?
I'm a little on the fence with it, but I'd like to give it a shot. I never played the one on GameCube,
Mhm.
um, and it's Sakurai, so
Yeah,
I tend to like his attention to detail, and so
yeah.
I I'm sure I'll end up picking it up. It's not a full $70 game, is it? Is it 60 or something, or maybe it's
I
70?
think it's slightly cheaper, but yeah, I can't remember now, actually. There is a
Yeah,
new direct coming, or maybe they haven't released the price, but
I
there is a
can't
new.
believe they're having another
I
direct on that. That last
know.
one was
I
so.
know.
I know.
It felt
I
like there
know.
was everything you could announce on it, but
Yeah. Well, there must be more to it than we think, than we even saw before. So another
yeah.
direct with Sakurai talking for another hour on Kirby.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
it,
we
it
can't
is
complain.
70. Okay.
It's 70,
Mhm.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
all content is good, and Sakurai is obviously a cool dude who's pretty passionate. So
Mhm.
it's good to have more from him. But yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be
I
Would
did
interesting.
have
you
a
rather
quick
have
point.
something from him or from the CEO of Illumination?
Definitely
Ooh.
Sakurai.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you, I can't remember if he was CEO. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I don't even want to go back to that. Let's keep moving forward to the fun
I
stuff.
did have a quick point, Gemma, just looking at a list of some of these games, and it sort of cycles back to what I said earlier, like with Galaxy, um,
Mhm.
about like physical and digital. I noticed with a lot of these games, the physical releases are coming weeks after the digital release.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw that
And
too.
I'm wondering, is that deliberate where they're trying to get people to just go all in on digital, or is there another reason to it? I don't know what you guys think, but I just found it odd.
It is odd. Like that was the case for Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat, for example. 2 months later, or month and a half, was the physical. There was a couple like
I
that though.
wonder. I wonder if it's so they can produce fewer physical versions. Like a lot of people who are going to get it on day one won't want to wait, so they'll just go digital as opposed to getting physical.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
It,
I don't know.
it
Hmm.
might help them get some numbers on who truly wants physical versus not, right? Yeah, like if
Mm,
people are like truly like what's the percentage of the physical holdouts, right? And to do it a little delayed like that, like you said, Kirk, someone may want to get it that day one. They're willing to sacrifice physical, but this would give them a pretty clear idea of like who's not ready to sacrifice physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. Good question, Trev. Yeah, definitely a few have sort of seemed to fit into that category of digital first, physical later.
Mhm.
It will be interesting to see
Mhm.
the sales data there. Mm. Next up is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, which we did know was coming out. I think it was previously winter, which we had speculated to be early next year, and it looks like it's not even winter, actually, is it? It's November the 6th, 2025.
Mhm.
We have a release date at last.
It may only feel like winter depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah, yeah. But that's like late fall, isn't it? Really, or mid fall, even kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lied, Nintendo. Anyway, no, I guess earlier is better. So, and they probably don't want to clash with another big game coming out in December, which we'll get to. But yeah, two-player co-op. Did we know that was a thing? And game share was revealed. Sorry, Kirk, you were going to talk about this one. Did I just steal your thunder?
Well, yeah, because I don't know if that had been revealed before. I mean, I knew what game share was. I don't know if it was if they announced it previously for Age of Imprisonment. But I just wanted to highlight this because, as I mentioned on the podcast before, one of my favorite gaming experiences was when I got the Wii U and we were playing from the same developers, Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper. I would play it on the TV, and Sam would play it holding the Wii U gamepad. So we could each have our own screen and do two-player without having to split that screen in half. And that was one of my favorite things about the Wii U, was being able to do that. And now we could do that again because he has a Switch 2 and I have one. So he and I can do player or multiplayer in the same room with
Cool.
me being on the TV with my old eyes being able to see something large and wonderful, and he could play it on the Switch too. We'd be able to do it that way because we don't have to each purchase the game. We'll just get one copy. He can play it through Game Share, and we're going to be able to relive that. And I think that's great.
That is great. I do love that too. There were a few game share moments, and I'm glad that they're going with that and expanding on that, I guess. And this is an excellent game to have that happen because it's so chaotic already with your 1000v1
Yeah.
battles.
It's a very hard game to play with split screen for
Yeah.
multiplayer. You need to be able to see an entire, if you're fighting 1,000 enemies at once, don't cut it in half so I can only see 500. I want to see all 1,000.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I'm excited for you guys to play that way. I think that'll be really fun. Yeah. Anyone else interested in this one? Justin, you interested in Hyrule Warriors?
I took a chance on the first one. Wasn't a huge fan of the gameplay of it, but I don't know. It does look look really good. I think the Switch 2 is going to benefit the frame rate and the the visuals. You'll be able to handle more enemies on screen. It won't feel maybe as empty. So maybe that scale, that sense of grand battles will be a bit better. And it does look like I didn't pick up any of the subsequent Hyrule Warriors after the first one.
Yeah.
But this one, I might pick it up at some point.
Cool. Thank you. Well, let's move on to this was out of nowhere, right? Nintendo Switch Online and expansion pack. They said, we've got news on this. And we're like, oh, what are you going to add now? And it's Virtual Boy. Like, what? I'm like, how are you going to do that? Okay. So I assumed that they would just be releasing them as playable games on your Switch, Switch 1 and Switch 2, this one. But there's also a physical, peripheral that you can purchase. I don't know how this is going to work.
Isn't it necessary? Like,
well,
don't you
that's
need it? Or-
How else is it virtual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, VR.
Yeah. It's
So February
Oh,
17th,
man.
2026. Now, I've talked about this before. It didn't come to Australia, the Virtual Boy. So I only saw this in magazines, and I got to play it for the first time in Japan at a random retro store a couple of years ago, and I was so excited to play it. There's only how many games in total for the Virtual Boy? Like 20? 30 maybe?
I think there's probably less than 20,
Less
and that's
than
factoring in a couple Japanese exclusives.
Yeah. So what are we thinking? Are we excited by this? Are we going to get this? Can you play it without the peripheral or not? Do we know that? Or you need
I
that?
don't know if you can. The way they worded it, it made it sound like
Yeah,
you
I
need
think it's
one of the.
required.
Yeah, and you slot the Switch into the Virtual Boy peripheral, if it's whatever you call it.
I mean, I got to be frank. I'm not going to spend $100 to to relive the Virtual Boy, but we were kind of talking earlier in Slack. I might do 25. Like, is that sort of how Labo worked? Like the cardboard thing? Like, because I never did
Yeah.
Labo, but
But
Yes, it,
you do have to like perpetually hold it up to your face to play. So, oh
Mm,
man, like I mean that will kind of guarantee you're doing it at like 5 minute sessions, which is
yeah.
what was the original like wasn't the original guidance in the Virtual Boy like to limit it to 5 or 10 or 15 minutes? But
Really?
like
I forget exactly. Yeah.
most people would exceed that, but like they're like, no, you're only supposed to play it for you know, such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
There's 22 officially licensed Virtual Boy games.
Right.
Wow, more than I thought.
Yeah. It'd be cool if there was some
Mhm.
game they never released because, I guess it had such a short shelf life. How cool would it be if there was like a
Mhm.
B-side? Like a
There were games
Yeah.
they were working on that got canceled. Like I seem to remember there was like a Donkey Kong Country type
oh,
game that they were
yeah.
working on way back when. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. They should open up the dev kit to third party developers.
Yeah.
See
oh
what new
man.
virtual boy
That
games we
would
can
be
get.
Well, can
Yeah.
you
that would be
imagine like you
cool.
look at like a Tui, what they did with the Mutant Muds games,
Mm.
or like even
Mhm.
Way Forward, kind of with like Shantae, like some of these games could really work well in stereoscopic 3D. But my question is, why
Mhm.
didn't they do this when the 3DS was in its prime?
Yeah.
The perfect system.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That
Yeah.
would have made sense, honestly.
Like, are you going to
They
want to
were still
spend
too
money
embarrassed.
on an accessory for games you don't even own?
Mm.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
like as soon as your subscription expires, you lose access. So, and granted,
Mm.
we're all probably going to keep it, but still, it's just so weird.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It is.
it is weird. So are there 2 ways to play this? You can play with the like a full-on Virtual Boy replica type thing that you slot the Switch 1 into or Switch 2,
Yeah.
or you can get a little cardboard version. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And one's $100, and then $25 is the other one.
Okay, right.
25. That's. I
Mhm.
was thinking because when they showed the physical, like the big plastic thing, that there's no way I'm going to do this because, as we've discussed off this, I don't think any of these games look any good to me. Now I'm sure a couple of them are fun, but they look like they were there to sell the 3D gimmick more than actual gameplay, and
Mm,
I think after a few minutes I would get bored of them. But
Yeah.
for the 3D effect, that looks fun, and I could get the cardboard one and lean back in my recliner and play them for a bit. But I don't know if I'd want to do that for $25. I was hoping for 10 or 15 on that thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could make one out of cardboard.
You probably could.
Rig up your own one.
Build it yourself.
Yeah.
The
Interesting.
thing
Yeah.
is, I had a Virtual Boy as a youngster. I got it cheap from Blockbuster when they were phasing it out, and
Mhm.
it was cool. And there were some like Wario Land is probably a legitimately great game. I
Mhm.
wish I
Yeah.
could remember the spread, which issue for Pure Nintendo Mag I had a spread on that. It's probably going back years, but that's a legitimately great game. There was a lot of games that I had fun on that. Mario
Mhm.
Clash was fun. There was a fun golf game. There was a fun bowling game. Um, but Kirk's point's fair too. Thinking about it, I don't think I ever spent probably maybe more than the 5 minutes they recommended or whatever. But I don't think I probably ever spent more than half an hour on any one game. So
Mm,
I wonder how much of it is the novelty, and then
Yeah.
once the novelty wears off, how much attraction is it going to get? Because the Virtual Boy was not a good seller. I mean, it didn't even crack 1 million.
yeah. Yeah. Had a very short life, didn't it? Yeah. Well, I mean, there are fans. There are people who will get it. There are people like me who are curious about it who maybe never even played it. Would they spend over $100?
Mhm.
Because that's 100 US. So for
They'll
me,
do one
that's
game a
Mhm.
month
yeah,
for 2 years
yeah.
to do the
That's
whole library.
that's
Mhm.
the other thing. Are they going to release all of the 22 games at once?
No. No.
Probably not,
Like
right? So
in the press release, they only list I think 3 games.
three three games. Okay. Well, it's 15
Um,
minutes of gameplay then.
it
Hey,
mentions
Mario Tennis is great.
Mario Tennis. Yeah, Mario's
It's a good game.
Tennis, Galactic Pinball, Telero Boxer.
Hmm.
Those are the 3 that are listed. So yeah, and it says and more as they release over time. So my
Yeah.
guess is those are the 3 launch. So man, with Wario Land not even being there at launch, that's kind of a bummer.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it though, because those were the actual lunch games
Ah, there you go.
back in
yeah,
the day, along with Red Alarm. They had 4 lunch games. So
yeah, Red
Mhm.
Alarm. I remember playing Red Alarm. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll see what happens in February. February 17th, 2026 it comes out.
I
Yeah.
hope Nintendo sends us some cardboard at least. Maybe they
Yeah,
won't give us the
maybe.
good unit, but send us some cardboard. Let us
Let us
There
test
you
it
go.
out.
do
Yeah, that'd be
something.
cool. That'd be
Maybe
cool.
use your Australian contact, Gemma. Put in a good word
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. I'll try.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll try. All right, so let's move on to Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, which comes out early 2026. Kirk, I feel like this is a game for you. This
Yeah,
looks
I'm going to shock and amaze all of you right now
okay.
and let you know that this was my game of the announcement of the direct.
Wow, okay.
I, I'm not even joking. We're going to get to another game that I've talked about more later on, of course, but I love these Fatal Frame games so much, and they're so unique. And if this is, of course, being a Fatal Frame 2, I've read that many consider this to be the best in the series. So I'm excited to play it, and I'm mostly excited that it's a full remake instead of just a remastering or something, because the first game I played on this was Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, which was one of the more recent ones, and it was absolutely Oh wait, no, that's not the one. Maiden of Black Water, excuse me, was the first one that I played, and I loved it.
Mm.
They went back and they kind of remastered Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, and it wasn't quite as good to me. The controls were a little clunkier. I didn't have as much fun with it. So the fact that they're remaking this thrills me. And I with a lot of the games that you get, there are comparative games out there. So if you're not getting like your favorite series, you could get games that are close in gameplay. You cannot do that with Fatal Frame. You're getting a Fatal Frame or nothing. So I'm really excited to be able to dive into another one of these games.
Yeah, it does look good. I remember you talking about, I think that one, maybe on a Halloween episode, Maiden of Blackwater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have not played these. These looked really scary. So
Yeah, they're very effective. In fact, when I picked up Max from school and I was talking about the games that came out, and I mentioned this, and he has never played one of them, but watched me play it and said, that game scares me too much.
yes. It looks terrifying. I've said
Yeah.
before, I love horror movies, but horror games are too immersive for me. But I was thinking in Australia and I think Europe, it's called Project Zero. It's not called Fatal
Yes.
Frame. Yeah.
Yeah. And in Japan, it's called Project Zero too. I think the
Oh, so
US may have been the
just
only
the
one that
US.
changed it.
Okay, fair enough.
Could you play Fatal Frame in the Virtual Boy device and really have it right in your face? That'd
Oh
be
my gosh,
freaky.
that would be
Oh yeah, with the creepy red coloring on everything. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
yeah.
Do it. Make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. So that did we say when that comes out? Early 2026. We don't have an actual date, but I guess first quarter probably.
Probably spring, right?
Probably spring. Yes. And so you haven't played this one before, right, Kirk?
Nope, I've
No.
never played.
Well, that's
The only
cool.
ones I played were the ones that came out. Well, Wii U. Maiden in Blackwater first came out on the Wii U, but so I played it there
Mm,
and on the Switch, and then the other one on the Switch.
yeah. Well, the original was a 2003 game, so it's
Yeah.
22 years old, which or 20, yeah, which means it's sorry, I don't know what I'm saying with that, but you know what I mean. It's an old game getting revamped, and like you said, it's being remade, so it's gonna look spectacular. The footage looked amazing in the
Mhm.
direct. Like it certainly looks. It's like the other horror game that's at the end of this direct that we'll talk to. That looked amazing too. Scary, but amazing. Yeah, cool. Well, that's exciting for you. I can't wait to hear how you go with that next year. I'm going to talk very, very briefly about Suica because I love Suica.
Yay.
Suica Game Planet comes out winter 2025. My only disappointment was there was no release date. I thought this would be like, it's available today or
Yeah.
next week, but no. I love Suica. I did get a little bit addicted to this when it came out a couple of years ago. I love that it's a completely new way to play, though. It's like it's not 3D, but it's 360 degrees. So you can go all the way around a circle and throw your fruit in to combine them. It's a very relaxing game, Suica. The goal is just to combine fruit into bigger fruit and get as many as you can, and that's it. The music, which you would have heard in the direct, that's the music from the game. It just triggered memories for me, even though it's only a couple of years old, this game, the original. And Harrison was watching with me, my son. He's like, no, not Suica, that music. I heard you playing this so much. I'm like, yes. And it has game share as well. And you can play, like, I think it was 4 people can play at once, which is going to be either awesome or chaotic or both. I don't know. But it looks really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to that one. And when it comes out, I will talk about it some more. Now, I thought they were saving this for the end, the next one, but I guess it's not a new game. So maybe it makes sense. It's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I think all we really wanted from this was a release date. Can you believe it, guys? We have a release date for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
And it's still this year, barely.
Yeah. Yeah, barely. I know, right? So December, did I write down the date wrong? Was it December the 20th, is it? Or is it the 4th?
Yeah,
for it.
December
Okay.
December 4th.
It was closing in on midnight when I wrote these notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
What is the 20? What is that 20? So it's December the 4th, right? Cool.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, Google changed it into that. I don't know why I did that. Which is, you know, not that far away, really. 2.5 months. Yeah. Plus Amiibo.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk
And
about
an
this?
art book.
And an art book. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're all pretty excited for this one. At first, when they showed it, I was like, is that Samus? What is she doing on the motorbike there? Is this Metroid Prime 4 Beyond?
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin, were you afraid that it was going to be like another Splinter game and they were pushing Metroid Prime 4 back to 2027?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, is this some F-Zero DLC or I don't know, some
Pinball.
offshoot? Yeah, Metroid Riders or I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still not quite sure what I think of the like. It looks like it's pretty like it's going to have these open sections. It almost reminded me of Star Fox a little bit, which is kind of cool because, like, do you remember some of the sections in Star Fox with the tank? You know, it looked like there was kind of some enemies flying alongside Samus, and you could kind of lock on kind of these flying enemies. But then there was also some on the ground, and you could do this like sort of like side attack or something, like where the motorcycle flies sideways and attacks. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
So-
very. What do you think, Kirk?
Oh, I agree. Well, first of all, getting a date, I think is fantastic. I was a little concerned with the motorcycle content because I don't necessarily. We talked before about the possibility that this is going to be more open world, and the idea of just driving a motorcycle around the planet doesn't appeal to me. I like these games to be more linear, but then we quickly settled in and got more of the kind of video that we expected the game to actually be like. So yes, I'm quite excited, and we'll definitely have this on my holiday wish list. And the thing about the Metroid games is, like, when I'm not playing them, it's easy for me personally to forget why I like them so much because they're generally not my kind of game. But boy, I absolutely love them when I'm in them, and I'm looking forward to having Metroid Prime 4 remind me of why that is.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's 3 amiibo to go with it, and one of them is the motorbike version of Samus there, which is pretty cool. And looks like 2
Is that one
amiibo.
pricier because it's bigger?
I bet
Probably.
it would have to be.
Yeah, probably. The box is longer, so
Yeah.
looks like 2 amiibo come out before the game in November there, 6th of November. And then the third one, which is Silax, I guess, comes out on the same day as the game, 4th of December. So interesting, releasing 2 ahead of time and then 1 later.
I am slightly worried about that date. That
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of outlets are going to have a cutoff for Game of the Year consideration.
Ooh,
And
true.
because it's in
Yeah.
December, that it's going to miss out or be moved to next year. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how it's obviously not going to impact us, but I know a lot of
No.
other big outlets do basically cut off after like Black Friday or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor, to answer your question, I'm seeing pre-orders open, and the motorcycle or light cycle, whatever we want to call it, amiibo is $40, so $10 more than the others.
Stinking tariffs.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really exciting. I just can't believe that we've had a date. When did we first hear about this game? How many years ago now?
8? Was it
8.
8 years ago?
For
Eight,
goodness
eight,
sake.
8+ years, yeah, because it was E3 2017.
Yeah.
So
Do you
it
think
would have been like June 2017.
would it have been cool if they did what Team Cherry did and just said, "Hey, guess what? Metro Prime 4 comes out in 2 weeks," like they did with Silk Song?
Would have broke the internet.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah, yeah,
That would have been amazing. But anyway, like I said, not too long, not too far away. So that's good. We have a date. We have a firm date now. They can't push this one back anymore.
right.
It's
Yep.
happening. It's happening. So we'll
Now that
definitely.
they heard you say December 20th, they're going to be like, "That's a good idea."
That's good. Yeah, that's
It wasn't me. It was Google. Google Notes stuffed me up there. Yeah, so that's huge. That's huge. Looking forward to talking about that more as it comes closer, and I guess when it releases, obviously we'll talk about it on the show. Cool. So let's move on to Donkey Kong Bonanza, which talking about Game of the Year, Trev, that's definitely a contender. Justin, just quickly, I mean, you're going to talk about the DLC too, but you're a fan of Donkey Kong Bonanza, I take it?
Yeah. I just beat the game a week or so ago. I have nowhere near all of the bananas yet, but
There's a lot.
definitely enjoyed the game. I'm curious. Apparently, I didn't realize this was a shadow drop, the Emerald Rush. Like it's available today, apparently. So
Yes, it is. It's out now, or straight after the direct. Yeah. Or
so
whatever. Yeah.
I love that. I was reading a little bit about it, and it doesn't seem like it is like the DK Island, and there is this new mode, and I think it kind of has it throughout different layers. I think you can do this Emerald Rush, but I guess there's no bananas or anything in DK Island. Like it's not a new layer to smash and collect bananas in, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
I would have, but maybe like this is so quick. I would have almost expected Mario Kart World DLC before Bonanza DLC.
Yeah, true.
So maybe there's still some further plans, but I would love to see more like maybe if they did some more like 2D levels. Like I know they did some of those in like those little vault locations at a couple of the 2D levels in Bonanza, but I don't know, like it seemed like a good opportunity to like, hey, here's DK Island and there's like, a ton of new 2D levels you can, play around in. I don't know. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was super surprised that this was out already, as in announced, shadow dropped, and released all within not even 2 months of the game coming out. So,
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's at the time of this recording, it hasn't even been 2 months.
Yeah.
And that's as much as I like this game and as much as I love Nintendo, I notice in this direct, I feel like there's some bad habits. DLC so close after release, or in some cases, DLC announced before the game is even out.
Yeah.
Again, what can they get away with, and for how long?
The Pokemon.
Yeah, we'll get to that very soon. So it looks like Emerald Rush is more of a, what do you call it? It's a run, right? Like you go on a run and you kind of have perks and skills, but they disappear at the end of your run, and you collect things that stay with you. Like, how does that work? I don't
It's
know.
almost sounds like a roguelite or something.
It does, yes. I'm thinking that.
it
Yeah.
is.
And I guess in a way, like, yes, I would probably prefer what you said, Justin, having a new area to explore in terms of DLC. I guess it's different and unique, and that's a cool angle to play. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, we haven't had a chance because the direct only just happened, not like today for us as recording. We haven't had a chance to try this yet. Do we know how much it is for this?
It's like 20, isn't it?
It's $20, and
$20,
that's where I'm like I'm hearing that like maybe it would have been better at like $10, but maybe there's more to it than I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Well, I think you sort of touched on this as well, that the Emerald Rush component, like there's the runs, the roguelike, whatever. And but I think it sort of becomes part of the game, like the existing levels, right? Like you can do this rush, or there's these emerald things to collect in the actual game somehow. You unlock it or something like that. So it kind of expands a bit like you're saying for Kirby, the Starcross stuff. It adds something to existing levels, probably not to
Yeah.
the same level as Kirby did because that was quite different. But I guess it gives you a reason to replay as well in some instances, and maybe go and collect those bananas, vanadium
So are they
gems.
going to reprint this game with the
Yeah.
DLC? And if so, what's
Yeah,
its
I
title
don't
going to be?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, that's always
Yeah.
your main concern. You want
Mhm.
to review this one, Trev? The DLC.
I don't know. I mean, I'm in collectathon mode with the game, so I'm
Mm,
not even really done. I don't consider myself done with the main game, so,
yeah, yeah.
even though I'm like 25 hours in or whatever it was. So,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more to collect now. So more,
mm.
more outfits and and all sorts. So yeah, well, we'll give it a go, I suppose. I'm pretty keen to give it a go at least. See how we play, how it fares, and I guess we can talk about it next week. Our impressions if we get a chance to play it. So,
Oh, wait, before we move off this,
mm.
did Kirk download the demo?
Oh yes, of course, the demo.
I work for a living.
So not yet.
I, I went right from the direct to my job. Well, my job's I sat at the same chair I watched the direct at because I work from home. But no, I haven't had a chance yet. I likely will, provided my Pure Nintendo review workload affords me the time to do so.
Cool.
Oh, so maybe not.
Yeah. It's a pretty big queue. So, yeah, cool. I mean, I'm glad there's a
Again,
demo.
here's my pitch for listeners. Come right for us.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad there's a demo. Are you at least glad to see there is a demo, Kirk?
Yes, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think this game should have had one from the very start, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely should have. Cool. Well, let's move on to Pokemon. And I think, we kind of heard rumors that there would be something new from Pokemon. Was this what you were expecting, Justin? Pokemon Pokopia?
Yeah, that it was definitely not something on my radar. I had heard some rumors of like a spin-off, and I think
Mhm,
most people think of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Snap or some of these others.
mhm.
It does seem like a really solid idea, and it sort of looks like a Pokemon Animal Crossing life sim, type of thing, which certainly sounds like a winner on paper. So I am curious to see how much depth to the content there is.
Mm.
But it does look interesting in the fact that like Ditto can get these different abilities from the Pokemon, and then you're kind of creating these areas for them to live, and I think there will be ability for people to visit each other's islands or worlds or whatever they want to call it. But um, so yeah, it looks. I would say I'm interested in hearing more about it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Mhm.
2026 is the vague release date, so
Mhm.
probably not in the first quarter or maybe not even the first half, honestly. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a surprise. I don't know. I can't really add anything to that. I think there was a Minecraft element also. You mentioned Animal Crossing. It looked pretty Minecrafty, like
Mhm.
the squareness of
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
So many life sims, though, on the
I
Switch.
I know.
know.
I know.
Yeah.
Just so, so
Yeah.
many.
If you're a fan of that genre, I mean, you must be loving life right now. So,
These are the
Interesting.
faves for you.
When are we getting our Xenoblade Chronicles life sim?
Right? There we go. I'm there. Yeah.
Don't
Ah.
give them any ideas.
Don't distract the developers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. And the other Pokemon game, which, we already know is a thing, Pokemon
Mhm.
Legends ZA, which is coming out on October 16th. So they touched on
Yeah.
that as well. Justin, I assume you're pretty excited about this one.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
already have that pre-ordered and ready to go.
nice.
Um, Definitely
DLC
excited
pre-order?
for.
Yeah, what did you think about that,
Obviously we didn't. I didn't know about it till today, but that is a I don't like that trend of like it's very much like a lot of other third parties have done for a while, like Ubisoft. Ubisoft's like, hey, the game's coming out in 3 months, and here's our DLC roadmap, and I think there's some good and bad. If people really want to invest in those worlds, that's cool to have. This there's continued support and updates and stuff, but
Mm,
um, I think it's another $20 DLC or something. Maybe it was even more. Maybe it was 30, and so I'm really like, okay, what does that entail?
Yeah, because they didn't really go into details, did they? Mega Dimension is the name of the DLC, and it had
Yeah,
Raichu, however you say his name, looking pretty
yeah,
fierce there. So, but I don't know what it brings to the table. Do we know more about that? It's pretty vague at this point.
yeah. They did have a pretty decent description. It looks like so Hoopa, that Pokemon is opening these dimensions around the game's world in Pokemon ZA.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting. It does seem like there's a story content to it. So if it is something like the other Pokemon DLCs they've done have been pretty sizable, that they did for Scarlet and Violet. So, um,
Mm.
but from what they showed, it was just like, here's a couple new Mega Evolutions and Hoopa's causing mischief, you know. So
Yeah.
um, like there's not a lot to go on. It almost, I didn't even see, like, there is no release date. It just says coming soon. So, but it says like pre-orders are available now, and it's like, it's weird of Nintendo to have pre-orders available for something that doesn't have a release date at all.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
anyways,
Yeah,
but they'll
interesting.
probably get me eventually. But,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Pokemon company gets my money pretty much for
Yeah.
anything. So,
Yeah. If it's got Pokemon in the
you
name,
know.
yeah, you're into it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Cool. Well, that's the Pokemon section. Let's move on to a handful more games. Got a few more to talk about. Starting with Dynasty Warriors Origins, which also has some paid DLC. And this one comes out on January the 22nd of 2026. Kirk, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I just want to talk about this one real briefly too. First of all, it's another Koei Tecmo game. Koei Tecmo has really hit it out of the park for me on this direct.
Hmm. Yeah, they were
So,
featured a lot.
but I've mentioned before about all the Warriors knockoffs we get. I don't want to say knockoffs, branch off splintered games. Like the Hyrule Warriors, which we've talked about, and Fire Emblem Warriors. Anybody who has not played a true Warriors game, from the mainline series, which would be Samurai Warriors or Dynasty Warriors, this is the one to hop onto. This is the one I'm most looking forward to because it's developed for modern consoles. It's only coming out for the Switch 2. It's going to be the first to really show, I think, what the Switch 2 is capable of with a game in this series. So I'm very excited to finally get my hands on a Dynasty Warriors game.
So it's a brand new entry in the series.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's only for Switch 2?
Yes, this one's only coming to. Well, I mean, it's available for the competitors,
Okay.
PS5
This
and stuff.
version is the Switch 2 version. Yeah, cool.
Yes, but it's not just because when the Switch 2 first came out, I talked about possibly going back to one of the Samurai Warriors games that I recently reviewed just to see how they work on the Switch 2. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to sit tight and wait for one developed specifically for the Switch 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's exciting. Cool. And it's not too far away, early next year. Very cool. Can't wait to hear how it goes for you, Kirk. But these games tend to not let you down, right? Like, you're pretty satisfied. I mean, apart from, say, frame rate issues on the Switch, for example, generally,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's that, and there's sometimes that they're just too much of the same thing. If the story's not that great, or if they
Yeah.
haven't done enough with the combat where you need to really start to get strategic, then they can become very repetitive, and that'll factor into some reviews too.
Yeah, true. Okay. Cool. We look forward to hearing more about that one. Do we know more about the DLC? What that entails? Did they
No,
detail?
I should have looked to see if it's DLC that's already available on the other systems.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a pity it's not packaged in then. If it's
This one's not too far behind the others. I think
okay.
it was released. When did it come out? Oh, yeah, well, this year.
This year, yeah, it's
Yeah,
2025, isn't it?
January.
Yeah.
So they're kind of following it. It's a year behind.
Okay.
So maybe not so far behind that they felt they needed to roll that into the release.
Fair enough. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Kirk. Let's move on to Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, which is a brand new entry in the series. We did see something about this semi recently, like a teaser or something, right? But now we have. Did we have a release date previously? I don't think we did. I think it was just 2026, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is the first date, and yeah, it's coming pretty quick. It said March 13th. That's not too.
Yeah.
Too far in the future. And I know I played the first Monster Hunter Stories. Was that the 3DS?
It
And then I think
was.
they did this. They did the second one on the Switch, right? And then I think they've done the remaster. I think of the first one on Switch or something, at least a
Yeah, I
port.
think there's a bundle that's got both.
Yeah, I really like these. They are more, they're basically like Pokemon, so they have some of that kind of turn based. They've got some different twists on the turn based gameplay than Pokemon, um, but it is kind of this RPG, story experience. I didn't really always resonate with the typical Monster Hunter games. I don't know, it's just the hunting aspect and just going out there slashing at monsters before they fall over. It just wasn't quite as interesting to me.
Mm.
But I don't know. So I've resonated with the stories series a bit more. And this looks really good. The fact that it's also a Switch 2 exclusive, it looks like you're going to be able to fly around you'll have flying mounts, and your monsties will be able to go in the water too. So there's going to be looks like a pretty interesting world to explore. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it does look it like graphically, it looks amazing. I was really impressed with the look of it. Trevor, I feel like you have similar feelings about the series you've mentioned before. You like the story series more than the typical Monster Hunter series.
Yeah, it's funny. Justin and I are really similar. In fact, I was thinking of that. Most recently, I'm reviewing a game that's like sort of in a traditional Monster Hunter mold, and even when they look like horrific and scary, I'm like, oh man, it's not like I'm hunting these things to like eat or make clothing. I'm just hunting to. it's it's
Yeah.
hard. And in Monster Hunter stories, what I would often do is I would play it stealthy. I would try to sneak in and grab an egg, because it's like if the mom's trying to defend her nest, who am I to kill? I know it's weird, but that's sort of how I played. But stories is a lot more, colorful, and I think maybe more inviting to people who didn't connect with the core gameplay of the hunt.
Mm.
And it does look great because on 3DS, I played it a lot, and I thought the 3DS was going to melt because it was so like graphically intensive. So I'm excited to see what they can do on Switch too.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And so, sorry, Justin, you said this is a Switch 2 exclusive? It's not coming to other consoles?
Correct. Yeah, this is only I meant Switch 2 exclusive for at least Nintendo, but
Oh, okay, sure. Yes.
like it's not coming to Switch 1.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's possibly coming to other
Is it a
systems,
timed
but yeah,
exclusive? Maybe.
Could be, yeah.
maybe. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm kind of curious now. There was a separate trailer I saw today that Capcom dropped,
Mhm.
like on their YouTube, um, that has a bit more gameplay and a bit more on the story too. So if you have a chance, check that one out. It has a bit more than what they showed in the direct.
Cool.
It is
Um,
coming to other platforms,
Yeah, okay.
PS5,
it is.
Windows, and Xbox
Okay.
X.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking, yeah, just a Switch 2 being exclusive on that
Yeah, it
Nintendo
makes
console, not
sense.
on the Switch one,
Yeah.
not a cross gen.
Cool.
Is
No,
it
that makes
coming to
sense.
Virtual Boy? That's my ongoing gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spits in the game. Oh wait, no.
That's last week.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
Put that in the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah. Cool. They went through, I guess, a handful of games that are coming out kind of this month and next month. There's like a good eight or so games there. Lego Voyages, Little Nightmares 3. Some of these we'd heard of before. EA Sports FC 26. 2 Point Museum stood out a little bit to me just because I played that at PAX last year, PAX Australia. It was I think an Xbox game. And I was like, I can see this coming to Switch. And here it is. But we've got two more big games to talk about. And first up is Resident Evil Requiem, which kind of blew me away, honestly, graphically. I was like, what is this? It looked Resident Evil-ish. I was talking to my son again. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is Resident Evil. It said Capcom. They showed the umbrella thing. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it's Resident Evil. This looked phenomenal. Like, this looked like a movie quality style game. Is this actual gameplay footage we're seeing? Because that was incredible. Justin, what do you think
I
about this?
believe. Yeah, I believe so. It like you can still tell there's some there's kind of some weird shimmering effects, and the hair doesn't look as good as, like, I saw
Mm.
the Resident Evil 9 trailer they had for the other systems, and this doesn't look as good, but it does look like they're trying to make it have a good frame rate, so it'll be nice and playable. But yeah, it doesn't look quite as high fidelity as PS5 and the others, of course, but still, like you said, looks very, very good.
Mm.
I have not played. Apparently, this is sort of that new trilogy, 7, 8, 9. I never played 7, um, and I played a little bit of 8. Um, but I don't know. The fact that these are coming to a Nintendo system definitely has me a bit more interested, because I mean, we all like Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube was kind of my introduction to the series, and then
Mm.
they even re-released Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube. They had Resident Evil 0, which was kind of a brand new title that they had on the GameCube. I imagine we'll get all of these other remakes, and Resident Evil 4, 2, 3, 1, all of those at some point will come to the Switch too. But the fact that the first Resident Evil game they announced for the Switch 2 is the brand new one, and it's coming out the same day as the others. So
Yeah.
there's no, because some of the other games, like I think Borderlands 4,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
Star Wars Outlaws, that's like a year-old game.
Yeah.
Borderlands 4, I think, is coming out about a month later than, or 3 or 4 weeks later than on the other systems. So this is a pretty high-profile third-party get.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Granted, 7 and 8 are delayed ports, but and I would have liked if those came out not the same day, because it's like, oh well, I haven't played 7 or all the way through
Mm.
8, and they're coming out the same day as 9, so uh, like it would
Yeah,
have been
that's a good
nice if
point.
it would have been nice if 7 came out in November, and then 8 comes out in January, and then you've got February
Mm.
for but it is what it is. I'm sure they're anticipating probably a lot of people have already played this, but again, if you're a primary Nintendo gamer, I think a lot of people probably haven't played either of these three. So,
Yeah.
um, anyways,
Wow. Yeah, that's so true. I think if they came out earlier, that would make sense, because then it would get people excited for
mhm,
Requiem. So Requiem comes out 27th
yeah,
of February, 2026, not all that far away.
mhm.
Did the other consoles already have a release date? Is this just new information for us as Nintendo Switch players? Switch Two
Yeah,
players?
I
Yeah.
believe so. I believe that date had already been announced, so I don't think
Mhm.
that was news. So yeah, I think it was just news that, hey, it's coming to Switch 2, and it's day and date with the others.
Yeah. I do love, like you said,
Yeah.
that it's the same date. That's a really
Mhm.
That's a coup
Yeah,
for Nintendo, absolutely. Because yeah, why is Borderlands like
yeah.
2 or 3 weeks? Why?
Mhm.
Just do it the
Yeah.
same day, man, come on.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it really, you don't have that comparison, like, 'cause developers can't say, "Oh, it sold worse on the Switch too," and it's like, well, you had that time delay. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of gamers have a Switch 2 and some other system,
Mhm.
and maybe they got it on PC or PS5 or Xbox, so,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
they
well,
just didn't wanna wait,
yeah, a
so
huge fan is not gonna wait even 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah,
If you're a massive fan and you've got the
exactly.
system, you're gonna get it day
Yeah.
1, so
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, you immediately disadvantage it, and then you make false conclusions, right? That
Mm.
are like, oh well, this third party games just don't do well on a Nintendo platform. And it's like, well, Nintendo gamers aren't dumb, and they're not exclusive. Not everybody just has that. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
Really good points, yes. Awesome.
Mhm.
Anyone else got anything to add to Resident Evil Requiem before we move on to our final game? Trev and Kirk are not Resident Evil people. I mean, I'm not
Mhm.
either. I do know the series pretty well. I've played the
Mhm.
original, I think,
Mhm.
or the first couple with a friend on his, old PS something. I've seen the
Mhm.
movies,
Ooh.
and I just that this looks terrifying as well, like Fatal
Oh, you've
Frame.
seen the movies? You're more of a fan than me then of the original.
Not
The
the
last one I played, and I didn't beat it, was on
Mhm.
the 3DS, Resident
Oh,
Evil
Revelations.
Revelations,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
Yeah.
I grabbed it on an impulse because the case had a typo on the spine where Revelations was spelled wrong. I'm
Revelation.
like, maybe this will be a cool collector item. So,
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's funny.
but like I played, 4 on the GameCube back in the day, and that was,
Mm.
Yeah.
like a amazing. But I haven't really stuck with the series
Yeah.
beyond the GameCube, 4 and 0, and they did have some of the remakes too, which are pretty rare now actually on that system. But
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
um,
I
yeah,
think, yeah, I can't keep up because they keep jumping all over the place. Like I think they said this was 9, but it's not called Resident Evil 9. It's called Resident Evil Requiem, right?
I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
at
they
E3
flashed
I
that
played a
9.
demo of a
Sorry.
game.
Mhm.
I don't even know which one. I'm
Uh,
sorry. When we were at E3, I played a demo of a Resident Evil
ah,
game that was coming on Switch, and I don't even know which one it was.
okay. And sorry,
It
Kirk,
was
what
Yeah.
so
did you
long
say?
ago.
I would say they flashed a 9 in the title of this really quickly and
Yes.
then didn't put it up again. So
Mm.
I was confused by that too.
Yeah.
But in my notes, I
They,
wrote down that it was the
yeah.
9th.
Yeah.
They've been doing that since 7, because like 7 has like part of the VI and the L in Resident Evil highlighted with the VII.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil 7 was almost sort of this soft reboot, you know.
Mm.
Because 5 and 6 were more action oriented, like 4 was. So they're kind of clustering them in groups of threes. So
Right.
4, 5, and 6 are similar-ish, you know. Um, and 4 kind of started that, like, hey, it's a bit more action oriented than horror, you know, like the earlier games. And so 7, 8, 9 are kind of going a bit more horror again. They're still action oriented. They went 7 went first person. I
Mm.
think
Yeah.
Village did as well.
They
And
said that, didn't
then
they? I think in the direct. Yeah.
yeah, 9 is going to have a mix of both, and you can freely transfer from both. I think they said you can do third person or first person, whatever you
Okay.
what level of immersion you want. You know, so
Yeah. See, that's too
um,
scary. First person horror
yeah,
game.
I know. Yeah, I don't like, going too much more into that horror side, but I do like some. I like some of the puzzle gameplay of Resident Evil games. There's some interesting. I don't know, like I don't know, the progression, the level design. It scratched an itch that was similar to Metroids or Zeldas a little bit, or I don't
Mm.
know.
Mhm.
Um, but and Resident Evil 4 was just a special game, I think, at
Yeah.
that time. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to look forward to. But let's go on to our final game, which I was like, fingers crossed, because the last game is going to be, you think, something big, right? It's going to be a new something. I mean, could it be a new Mario? But we'd already dealt with Mario. Could it be Fire Emblem? And it was. It was, and it wasn't just like Three Houses Switch 2, which people were talking about the day before the direct. I'm like, don't do that. Don't just do a Switch 2 version of Three Houses. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which comes out in 2026. Kirk, how happy were you to see some Fire Emblem love in the direct?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Like when they first showed, because I saw that, and every time we do this, I'm like, is this going to be Fire Emblem? Is it too late? But they did do Metroid earlier. It could be, and then they showed that big like arena with the fighting. I'm like, well, no, we need more like castle structures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the moment we got the artwork of the first person, the first character, said, "That's it. That's it. This is Fire Emblem. I know what these games look like."
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I was over the moon, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then when they showed the combat as well, you're like, oh, because I was, again, talking to my son, I'm like, oh, this could be Fire Emblem. Like, I was put off by the arena as well at the start.
Yeah.
As they're zooming down, I'm like, is it Fire Emblem? This doesn't look Fire Emblem. Where's the medieval
Yeah,
castle?
I was concerned momentarily that it was going to be like some kind of Fire Emblem fighting game, because
Mm.
like we've had the offshoots with the Warriors game, so maybe this is like Fire Emblem Pit Fighter or something like.
Yeah, you're giving them more ideas, Kirk. So.
No, please don't ever do that to me. Um,
Yeah, but yeah, once
yeah,
you saw the combat, you're like, oh yeah, it's turn-based combat. It's got to be Fire Emblem.
yeah, I loved the way the artwork looked, the characters. It definitely has like more of an kind of ancient Roman feel than any of the games have. Now
Yeah.
they change settings frequently in this, so they do often have like kind of a completely different vibe, or like a based on a specific culture.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I was surprised to see that, but I liked it. I liked most of the costumes that we've seen and the characters. I'm not sure about this. I don't know if he's a kid. The main character, who looks like he's battling his way up through some kind of arena.
Mhm.
Um, we'll see if that design grows on me. If he's the main person, I usually like to have someone I think looks a little cooler, but you never know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I could grow to like it.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing, it's both good and bad, is that it appears to be a sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Ah, okay.
At the very end, they show us Sothis, who was a main character in Three Houses, kind of a goddess character. And so it's obviously going to be attached to it. I had two things that I did not like about Three Houses. First of all, I found the battle maps for a Fire Emblem game to be quite boring. They focused more on like these big beasts that you had to do multiple hits on and kind of like gang up on them. And it had, you could like, you had the ability to throw like soldiers, groups of soldiers into the arena, which didn't quite feel right to me.
Mm.
But those were fine. And I've discussed this before. I hated the whole school mechanic. I know I'm almost alone in this. So many people love this game because of that. But when I'm controlling a group of soldiers and I'm leaving them into battle to save the kingdom, I don't want to have to go to choir practice on my way there. So I hated that whole thing. And it makes it impossible to play it again because if I just want to go into the battles, I can't. I have to go through the whole school thing and go through all that boring stuff that just drags the game down. Fine the first time. I didn't really have a big problem with it the first time, but I can't play these games again. So
Mm.
hopefully we're not set in a school. That would be my request. If we're going to have some kind of like social interaction, great. But please, I just hope this game focuses on the combat and we have battles that require great strategies and decking out my warriors with the right weapons. And that's what I love about Fire Emblem games. But even if it does go back more towards the Three Houses thing, it'll sell bigger. Engage, I liked more because it was more the game I want. It didn't sell nearly as well as Three Houses.
Mm.
So again, I realized that I'm alone in this. But hopefully they find a good middle ground between the two. And whenever in 2016 this game is released, I can't set my countdown clock to a date that doesn't exist yet,
Yeah.
but I'm counting down.
Do we think it'll be late 2026? Do we think?
I'm assuming it would have to be at least back half, or I think they would have given us something a little more concrete.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe the Alarmo clock will have a countdown for Fire Emblem.
Now there's an idea.
I will set it.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, there's a lot, even though it was just a kind of it wasn't a teaser, it was a proper trailer, but still so many questions. I mean, I tend to agree with you on most of those points, Kirk. So you're not alone. I preferred Engage, honestly. I did like Three Houses, of course, but I don't have enough time to replay these things either. So I totally get that point. Justin or Trev, do you have any thoughts on Fortune's Weave at all?
I've always had like a casual interest with Fire Emblem. I've I had the GameCube, it was a Path of Radiance, and then Radiant Dawn on the Wii. I love the turn-based battles. I do like that gameplay. They've really nailed that kind of stratego, grid map turn-based gameplay. Yeah, like it's really, really solid. And I keep like Three Houses. I agree with Kirk. I didn't really like a lot of the school emphasis there. Like I wanted to just dive in. Engage was a bit better because you could just kind of, dive in and get some of that typical Fire Emblem gameplay. This does look really good. I could see myself getting this. I love the title actually. This is actually one of the better, like Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is a really, I don't know, has a lot of like mystique to it. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I do like the title, Fortune's Weave. It is cool. I think the title is really important. It's like with a Zelda game, the title's really, really important. I think, no, you've said it all. Really, that all makes perfect sense. If they wanted to stick with the Three Houses sort of style, maybe they could do two types of Fire Emblems. More of that story based, mode, or it could be optional. Like I know we talk about this a lot, having the option to skip over things like that. For people who love it, they can do it, and then for people who want to just get into the tactical battles, like it sounds like we are among that group. Yeah,
Yeah.
get straight to it. Yeah, but
And this is a reason why I'm really looking forward to when Path of Radiance is finally released in Nintendo Classics for the GameCube, because a lot of people have never played a Fire Emblem game like that. They started with
Yeah.
Awakening or Fates,
Yeah.
where we started to get more of the social interaction as
Yeah.
opposed to just battles and then planning for battles and then battles and then planning for battles.
Yeah.
And that's Path of Radiance excelled at that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
people who haven't played one of those games can hop in and maybe get a feel for what Justin and I are kind of talking about here.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Any moment now. We haven't had a GameCube. When was the last GameCube release? Was it Chibi Robo, Trev?
Chibi
Yeah,
Robo.
Yeah. Chibi Robo.
Chibi
Yeah.
Robo. So yeah, maybe next month
Yeah.
we'll get Fire Emblem.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Wow. So that was a lot to cover. We've gone a bit over time, obviously, this week. It was gonna be a big episode. Thank you, all of you, for joining me this week, and all of our listeners for listening and tuning in. Does anyone have anything to add before we close things off for the week? Any last minute thoughts or any thing to any parting words of wisdom?
A lot to look forward to for me.
Yeah. Well,
This is the most exciting I've been about the Switch 2 since it was released.
nice. Well, maybe
Nice.
maybe you could just quickly rate the direct then. You can give it an A and a B or a C, or you can give it a score out of 10. What would you?
A.
An A for
Yeah,
Kirk, Trev?
B minus.
B minus. Okay.
You know what? It's just because of all the paid DLC and the Switch 2 editions. I just don't like those bad habits. But there's plenty to look forward to
Mm-hmm.
for Switch 2 owners, even Switch 1 owners. So
Yep.
it'll be a good few months.
Justin, how would you rate it?
Yeah.
Overall?
I'd go A or A minus. Yeah, I like it. I thought it was really solid. There certainly, I was hoping to see something from Monolith Soft. I think that was
Mm,
the main thing I wanted from this was Metroid Prime 4 dated
yep.
for 2025. So like already it was going to be like peak there.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping for Monolith Soft, seeing what they're working on next.
Yeah.
And even like seeing some updates for the other Xenoblade games on the Switch too, like some graphical updates. Like I think they could do some free updates to make those run better.
Yeah.
But I imagine they'll want to announce that alongside whatever they're working on next. So
True.
it makes sense that they didn't, because if they see like, oh, Monolith Soft, oh, these are just updates for those. Oh, they don't have a new game to announce. Okay, talk to me later, Monolith.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. Like you could save them for if they do have something fairly deep in development. February, March next year, it would still be fine.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
I can
Okay.
wait.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What's your grade, Gemma?
yeah, I'd go A minus, I reckon. Yeah.
Wow, so I'm the lowest one. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was pretty solid. There was a lot. I was really happy to see Fire Emblem. I think even though I'm not a Resident Evil fan, that's huge. Definitely happy about the Metroid Prime release date. DK
Yeah.
DLC, new Pokemon game, even though I don't know how I feel about it. It's still brand new, plus new Yoshi as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
I just would have loved new Mario. Something new for Mario. I just want new Mario, but it's close enough. So yeah, and like I said, Fire Emblem I think was something we had all wanted for some time. I think maybe you wouldn't get Monolith Soft and like you wouldn't get Xenoblade and Fire Emblem maybe announcing at the same time potentially. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, overall really good. So let us know, listeners, what you thought. Did you enjoy the direct? What are your highlights? What are you looking forward to the most? Gosh, there's a lot of games on this list. I'm exhausted just thinking about how much I'm going to be playing in the next 6 months. But that's a good
You're
one.
exhausted because you only slept 6 hours.
That's true. That is true. Yes. Please don't do any more Friday directs Nintendo. No, it was a great direct. So, and thank you so much for chatting with me about it today. We are on social media. If you would like to follow us, head on over to Blue Sky and you can chat with us over there. We are sending out our latest copy of the Pure Nintendo magazine, so watch your mailboxes for that one. And if you wanted to get on to the subscription list for the next edition, you can head on over to patreon.com/Pure Nintendo, and we will get the next one out to you when that one is ready. But I think that's everything for this week, so thank you, everyone. Game on, everybody. Bye.
See ya.